Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we can create multiple plots in MATLAB. Okay, so now, by now you should know that MATLAB overrides the figure window every time you request a new plot. Okay, I just demonstrated to you in the previous window. So this is how you're going to open a new figure window by using the figure function. Okay, so if you specify the figure number, so MATLAB will open a new figure window with that specific figure number. Okay, so here is how you can create a plot, several plots with multiple lines, by using the hold on command. Okay, so this hold on command will freeze the current plot so that you can overlay an additional plot on top of the current plot. So we'll see how we can do that. I'm going to consider this example here where we have a vector of x. This is a range of x value, and then this is our function y. I name this variable as y1, so y1 is cos for x. So now the first plot is plot x and y1. So this is plot x and y1. I think it might be better if I show you my MATLAB window here. So now creating multiple plots. Plots and lines, right? Can you see it clearly? No? I'm going to scroll upwards. Alright. So let's consider the same example. So x0 from 0, and this is the increment pi over 100, and then this is the final value 2 pi, and then y1 is cos for x, and then I'm going to plot x and y1. First let's show you what's this plot looks like. Here, ranking. How about I dot it? Can you see it clearly? So this is the figure for cos for x. So now I'm going to create a new function or new lines on this same exact figure. So I can do that by use this hold on command, and now I'm going to specify my next function, which is y2 is equal to sine x. Run. Plot x, y2. Right? So this is my second function, is plotted on this red line here. So that's how you create multiple lines on a single graph. There's also another ways of creating multiple lines on a single graph. So the other way is by creating is by requesting both lines in a single plot command. Okay, so here, okay, here what I do is I call for the first function first plot to be plotted first, and then I freeze that plot, and then I overlay a second plot on top of this first plot. Okay, so another approach is by using one single plot command, right? Let's consider the same value here, and then plot x, y1, x, y2. Okay, so this way I entered the input, okay, in each, okay, I entered the input of each set of ordered pairs. Okay, so the first pair will be x and y1, the second pair will be x and y2. Okay, so let's run. Let's open a new figure. Okay, run section. Okay, so figure 1 here is for this one. Okay, so if I want it to be separated, I'm just going to do like this. Okay, close this again and then run. Here we go. So I got the same figure but using slightly different approach, right? Okay, now so now let's see what happened if you use this plot command but with a single matrix. Okay, so in all our example previously, so we have like two set of data, okay, the x values and also the y value, or x vectors and y vectors. So now what happened if you use the plot command with a single matrix? Okay, so usually this type of data is plotted on a bar graph. So when you want to plot an xy grid, okay, you want to plot this type of data on an xy grid, it is often called a line graph. Okay, let's look at this example here. Okay, this is what I mean here. Okay, so we have this one matrix, and then we want to use the plot command to plot this one matrix, right? Let's show my MATLAB window. So we have matrix of Z 1, 5, 3, 2, and then use the plot command for Z. Okay, so now I want to open another figure. Okay, so here, okay, this is the figure for whatever happened here. Okay, so in this figure, okay, so MATLAB draws a separate line for each column of the matrix. So x-axis here is labeled with the row index vector. Okay, x-axis here is labeled with the row index vector. Okay, so for example here, y-axis is the value of that matrix. Okay, so this is the element number. Okay, so the first element is number 1, and the second element, the value for the second element is 5, the value for third element is 3, the value of fourth element is 2. Maybe you can look better with the grid on. Okay, this is with the grid on. Okay, so you can label the X label. Okay, the X labeling is index number of the column matrix. So Y label is the value of matrix. Okay, run. Okay, here. Okay. Let's close all our figures. Okay, moving on. Okay, so how about if we want to create multiple plots but all with the same X value? Okay, so now multiple plots with all same X values. Okay, so as I mentioned before, you can either use this command, okay, which is X, Y1, X, Y2, okay, etc. Okay, this is just just to show you what is the syntax. Okay, or you can group the Y values into a matrix. Okay, either way will produce the same results. Okay, for example, I group all these Y1 and Y2 into matrix Z. Okay, so now Z is Y1 and Y2, and then I can do the plotting using this plot exact command. Okay, so let's try this example. So I have Y1 there and Y2. Okay, how about I add some more, Y3 cos X multiplied by 4, Y4 cos X multiplied by 5. Okay, plot X, Y1, X, Y2, X, Y3. Okay, notice that they all are using the same X value. X, Y4. Okay, Z here, so it would be, this is the next row, Y2, Y3, Y4. Okay, how about I name this is figure 4 and this one is figure 5. Okay, so you can observe the difference. Okay, let's try run this code. Okay, here figure 5 is when I plot all these 1, 2, 3, 4 lines using this approach, and then figure 4 here is when I plot all these 1, 2, 3, 4 lines using this approach of entering or ordered set of entering set of pairs, okay, in an order. Okay, you can follow the order. Okay, right. Okay, just to show you something fun in MATLAB. So MATLAB have this function of pix function, which is called the pix function. Okay, let's look at that. MATLAB has this pix function which will create a number of m plus multiply with n. Okay, so for example, pix 100 will create a 100 times 100 array of values. Okay, so if you can see here, this plot here is actually made up of 100 different line plots. Okay, you can try it on your own. Okay, for example, this is like a built-in function in MATLAB. Okay, so plot. This is pix 100. Hit enter. Okay, so this is pix 100. You can compare it with pix, I don't know, 50. Okay, so this is pix 50. Okay, slightly different because it is only make up of 500. Okay, the pix 100 is make up twice number of lines from pix 50. Okay, then how about if you want to do plots of complex numbers or complex arrays? Okay, we can do that. Okay, plots of complex arrays. Okay, so what I mean plots of complex array is the input of the plot command is a single array of complex numbers. Okay, so when it is when the input is a complex array or single array of complex number, MATLAB will plot the real component on x-axis and the imaginary component of y-axis. Okay, for example here we have a 0 plus 0, I is the imaginary part. Right, and then let's plot A. Okay, this is the plot. Okay, so the x-axis here we plot the real component which is 0, 1, 2 and 3, and the y-axis here we plot the imaginary component which is 0, 2, 5 and 4. Okay, you can also insert titles. You can also insert title for that imaginary plot. A plot of a single complex array, and then x labeling is real component, y label is imaginary component. Okay. Okay, that's my completely labeled plots of complex array. Okay, so you can also plot two arrays of complex numbers using the plot function. Okay, so but if you do that, the real portion of the first array will be used for x value, meanwhile the real portion of second array will be used for the y values. Okay, for example, let's consider the same input here. Okay, so this one is multiple arrays of complex numbers. Okay, so b is equals to, this is the function, sin a, I'm going to put a semicolon at the end, and then plot it in. Okay, so what happened is, okay, the when x exists here, we plot the real portion of the first array, which is 0, 1, 2, and 3, and then the y axis here, we plot the real portion of the second array. Okay, you can see the second array is, you cannot see the second array, so here is the second array, okay, in the command window. So second array is 0, 3 point something, 67 point something, negative 3 point something, okay, 67 and 3.85. okay, so the imaginary part is ignored. Right,